Hello everyone, this is Yana Smakula and thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, I'm sharing a spring floral card featuring cherry blossoms, a stamp set from Pretty Pink Posh, and pencil coloring with the help of Polychromos pencils from Faber Castell. This video is a part of a March 2018 blog hop to celebrate new products release from Pretty Pink Posh. There's also a giveaway, and you can find more info about both on my blog. Link to the blog is in the video description box below. I have several favorite products from this release, one of them being the Bunny Friends stamp set and also the Best of Luck set. And you can catch videos featuring both of these sets on the Pretty Pink Posh YouTube channel. Another favorite of mine from this release is the Cherry Blossom set. Pretty Pink Posh now not only has fun critters to play with, but also these simple yet very beautiful outline flowers. I decided to use the flowers for my card today and do some quick coloring using Polychromos colored pencils. I'm starting out by stamping all images from the Cherry Blossom set in black ink onto tone gray sketch paper from Strathmore using my mini MISTI. I suggest you use some sort of a stamp positioner tool for your stamping, as once you finish coloring, you'll need to re-stamp the same image outlines to make them crisp and black again. As when coloring with colored pencils over a black outline, the outline becomes muted and dull. I'm stamping using Simon Says Stamp Intense Black ink today simply because this is the color and kind of ink that I had sitting on my desk. Any quick drying black ink can be used for this stamping. I stamped 2 panels as I wanted to have multiples of some images. Notice how I did not reposition the stamps here. I kept them as is for both panels, as I knew I would need to re-stamp that black outline once I was done coloring. Now, why did I pick gray paper and not white? The answer is simply because I love to use my Polychromos pencils on non-white papers. You can easily color your image with alcohol markers on white paper, but you cannot color with alcohol markers on non-white papers and have that same look. With pencils, on the other hand, you can color even over black and have stunning, vibrant results. The reason I picked this particular paper is because I've heard good things about it and I wanted to try and see if I would like it. This is the second time I'm coloring on this paper and I really do like it for my colored pencils. It is easier to add highlights and shadows on gray paper than it is on white. Like I mentioned, I'm going to use Polychromos pencils for this coloring. I keep my pencils in a little bucket from IKEA, and I just have them sitting on my desk. I have 2 buckets like this, one for pencils, and I use the other one as a little waste basket for when I need to sharpen my pencils. I also have this chart for my pencils. I just Googled Polychromos pencil chart and found one on the Faber Castell website, and I'll link to it in my video description below. I swatched all of the pencils that I have here. And this, by the way, is thin paper. I printed it on thin printer paper, not my fancy cardstock. I find this chart to be very helpful as I personally don't yet remember all of the pencil numbers and colors. I'm going to use pinks and greens today for my coloring. I do not use any blending solutions. Truth be told, I've never used one, and I just blend the colors using the white pencil. You can see by the size of that pencil that I've been using it quite a lot. There are many blending solutions out there, but like I mentioned, I've never used one, so I cannot recommend any at this point. I also have a pencil sharpener on my desk, and it is a regular no-brand pencil sharpener. I do not use any fancy or specific sharpeners for these pencils. I'm using Fuchsia, number 123, Pink Madder Lake, number 129, and white, number 101 to color the flowers. The way I like to color is with a light hand. I lay a layer of white, and this is what I mean about coloring on gray versus coloring on white. I added white color and it pops on this paper. It instantly comes to life, and all I have here really so far is just one layer of white. Next, I'm coming in with my dark color and coloring the sections that I want to see darkest on this image. I'm also using my medium color and creating a transition from dark to light. So here I am not using 3 pink pencils, but instead just 2 pink and a white pencil to create a gradual transition from vibrant pink into white. Next, I'm going back to my white pencil and once again going over the entire image and blending the colors. I am using a heavier hand here and pressing the pencil into my paper. At this point, you can use the darkest pencil again and intensify the shadows if needed. I'm going to color the stem in the same way by using green pencils. The colors I'm using are May Green, number 170, Chrome Oxide Green, number 278. Again, I'm starting with a white pencil and I'm applying it onto the section of the image that will be the highlight. Next, I'm using light green and coloring over it, and again with a light hand. Also using dark green and applying my shadow color and going over the light green to blend it out. Here, I'm not using my white pencil to blend the color out, but rather blending with the lightest colored pencil. I used the same technique to color some additional images for my card today. I'm going to play some music and let you enjoy the coloring process. I'll be back in a little bit to explain how I color the leaves. It took me a bit longer to decide how I wanted my leaves colored. I used 4 colors, 3 green and white. And the colors are the same as before, plus a medium green, number 168, earth green yellowish. I started by coloring the tip of my leaf with white pencil, and this is the area that I wanted to keep lightest, so this is why I applied white here. Next, I colored over it with my lightest green, and I extended that color out further into my leaf. Next, I used medium green and again, colored over a part of the light green and extended it out. Next, I used darkest green and colored the remaining part of my leaf. At this point, I started going back to the medium and then light colors and blending the coloring out. This is when I apply the heaviest pressure. When I blend the colors, I really press down on that pencil and make sure I fill my paper in with pigment and saturate it really well. Finally, I used a white pencil and a light hand and blended the tip of the leaf to make it even lighter. I placed my colored panels back into my mini MISTI and I re-stamped the images over the colored pieces. I used the same ink for my stamping, and here you can see a big difference in that black image outline. Stamping that outline again after you've completed your coloring makes a huge difference and lets your outline really pop. Just to be safe, I used my heat tool and zapped these with the heat for a few seconds. The colored pencils create a somewhat of a sleek surface where the ink needs a bit more time to dry, so to make sure I do not smear anything, I heat set it just in case. I used a coordinating die and cut these images out in my Spellbinder's Platinum die cutting machine. Next, I created a cluster, a floral cluster on my work surface. I picked a Happy Spring sentiment from the Bunny Friends stamp set to go along with these flowers. Now I'm using purple tape here, and I'm going to tape my flowers together so that I can flip them and add foam adhesive from the back. I don't want to recreate this cluster again, so I'm using low-tack tape to secure my arrangement. Next, I'm going to stamp my sentiment in black ink onto a white cardstock panel, and this panel is cut to 4 by 5 1/4 inches. I'm using same black ink as before, just to keep things consistent. I have my floral arrangement on the panel there to make sure my placement is correct. I want to pop these flowers up on my card, so I'm using foam squares from scrapbook adhesives and going to go ahead and foam mount the entire cluster at once. And now I can go ahead and remove the tape. I'm using a white gel pen to add white dot details to my flowers. I think these really pop here and help the flowers come to life. I've all mounted my panel onto Simon's Fog Gray card base, and now I'm using new jewel embellishments from Pretty Pink Posh. These are in the color Watermelon, and I'm using these to dress up my card. These jewels are another favorite of mine from the new release. They come in several colors, and each pack has jewels of different sizes. The smallest of the jewels are just about 2 millimeters in size, and together with the other size jewels, they make perfect little embellishments. One last thing that I did, I used my Tonic Aqua Shimmer pen, and I added some shimmer to all of the flowers on my card. Be sure to visit my blog for a list of supplies I used to make these cards, and join the blog hub for loads of additional inspiration. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, as always, please leave them in the comments section below, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't yet done so. If you are a subscriber but are not receiving new video notifications, please check the bell icon on the homepage of my channel to get notified every time I post a new video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!